Hey everyone, welcome back to another video and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be going over part 15 of the warehouse design series, and we're going to start wrapping up this series in general. In this part we're going to go over electric and data, so we're going to go over electric and data drops within the warehouse, not the warehouse offices. So this should be a pretty short lesson, but with that being said, let's get into it. Real quick, before we get into the video, please consider subscribing to the channel. This gives me an accurate understanding of how the videos are doing, how much people are enjoying the channel, how much people are enjoying the content. If you find the video helpful or you like it, give it a like down below. If you want to see something else done in AutoCAD, leave it in the comment section. And if you think someone else could use this video to help them out as well, please feel free to give it a share. Alright, so this is going to be a pretty straightforward and probably pretty quick video and or lesson. So what we're going to do here today is we want to put electric drops and data drops inside of the warehouse. So typically speaking, the contractors will take the electric drops and they will put them inside your offices, your conference rooms, your break rooms, whatever. We don't really want to worry about that right now. What we want to worry about is everywhere else on the warehouse floor. So if you've ever been inside a warehouse before, you might notice there's not a whole lot of electric really anywhere that's available. And this is partially due to the fact that you don't need electric everywhere, but it's also due to the fact that running electric is very, very, very expensive. So since it's so expensive, there is considerably less of it inside the warehouse than where the offices are. Typically speaking too, you don't really need the electric everywhere in the warehouse because you're not plugging in a computer, you're not plugging in a whole bunch of things, where in the offices you might need more of it. So with that being said, we have our electric and data drop indicators right here. Now you can do this a couple different ways. One of the ways you can do it is through these little symbols, and then another way you can do it is just by making a circle and putting ED in there for electric drop, and then DD in there for data drop. Personally, I like to do it this way where we just have these little symbols. They're a lot easier to see, but you can do either or, and I've seen them done a couple other ways as well, but these symbols kind of, just are easy to see, easy to find, and tell the story with what is being dropped in that specific location. Alright, so we're going to move our first electric drop, and we are going to bring it, actually, before we move it, let's just copy it. We're going to copy it, because we're going to need a lot of these, and we're going to bring it to our first spot. So where our first spot's going to be is right here on this table. It doesn't really matter where it's at. For this example, we're going to put them right here, and we're just going to attach them to this table or workstation right on this corner. You want a general idea, but they don't need to be extremely, extremely accurate. Again, within a couple feet of that area. So we're going to want an electric drop on each table, and we're not going to go into specifics right now about how much electric's being pulled for each of these. We're just going to make an assumption and say these are each a quad electric drop. The next place we're going to want them is at these workstations. We're going to bring those right here. We're going to just do it up in the corners here. We're going to want one drop for each workstation so people can charge their devices properly. The next place we're going to actually want them is we're going to want them at all the dock doors. And the reason we want them at the dock doors, we're just going to put them right here, is because sometimes there's dock door accessories you can get, things like fans for the hot days, things like lights so you can see in, and those need a place to be plugged in as well. So these electrical outlets are going, or electric drops are going to be used for those, and since they are close to the wall, we are going to assume or advise the general contractor or electrician to install them on the wall instead of hanging. Now, there are multiple different types of electric drops that you can do. Some of them are hard conduits, some of them are loose, essentially cabling that just flexes down. And I'm going to see if I can pull a picture up here for you guys to give you an example of each. But again, these ones that are close to the wall, you always want it to just come down in stainless steel or just steel conduit, and just have it mounted to the wall. We're going to go ahead and delete that other one right there. And again, we're just putting electric drops on the other side as well. So we're going to escape out of here. There we go. Do not need this one. All right, there's a couple other places we're going to put them. We're going to copy this, and we are going to put one down here at this desk. We're just going to put it in the corner too. You know what? We might want to put one outside the pump room right there. We'll put one outside of this bathroom. That's where we're going to want that. And then, honestly, we probably don't want any more. We'll put one right on the outside of this wall. We'll put two out here. That way, if there's time clocks anywhere, those can be attached there because those will need power as well. But it really depends on how much money you want to spend, because you can add power to all of these columns as well. I wouldn't recommend it, but again, it's an option for you. All right, so the next thing we're going to put in is we are going to do the data drops. So data drops are not going to be nearly as plentiful as the power drops, but you're still going to need them in certain areas. So for example, if these are pack stations with any sort of printers on them, you're going to need a data drop there. So we're just going to drop it right next to it. We're going to do that for all of the pack stations. And again, it doesn't need to be precise. It just needs to be in a general area where you want the stuff or want these drops to appear and occur. So again, the data drops are going to be for internet usage and printers to print ship labels or any other labeling. For packages, you're going to need data or some sort of Wi-Fi to essentially get those run. The reason why data is usually a better option is just because of the speed. So we're actually going to bring this down. We really only need one other data drop. We're just going to have it at this desk down here. But again, since this warehouse is pretty basic and there's not a whole lot going on, we don't really need a whole lot of data to support the interior of the warehouse. All right, so the last place we're actually going to put power is by the emergency exit doors to just allow for if you need to plug something in there. It's not a bad area to have power run to. It's not necessary by any means, but we're just going to put power just right next to all of them. Again, just super simple, super easy to do. Nothing crazy. And once the team's in there running power as well, it's also just, it's easy for them to do it while they're on site for these drops. Again, they don't have to be completely intentional. You'd be surprised at how many outlets you actually think you need. This is a massive warehouse comparatively to others, but again, power goes quick when you don't have enough of it. So we're just going to add all those. What I'm going to do is remove this one right here. Just want that going on the side. The last thing I want to point out is there is going to be power to other things such as the forklift charging. This power is going to be more intense and needs to be planned out accordingly. So you're not going to be able to just say, hey, I want a quad outlet dropped right there to plug the forklift chargers into. They require a lot more service, so you are going to need to work with an electrician to get the specific power needs and requirements in there. You'll most likely have to work with the forklift, contracting company as well. They're going to be able to help guide you through that. There's going to be a little bit of other needs for power as well, but again, this was just to show you where the needs are for the people and the facility. Everything else, like lighting in the warehouse and other power needs and requirements, should already be there by the time you guys or whoever is wanting to move in and stock the warehouse and use it. All right, so I know this was a bit of a quick video. Pretty basic, pretty simple. We're just putting little mini shapes inside the warehouse. But from an engineering perspective and a facilities design and layout perspective, this is actually a very important video. You have to understand where to put electric and kind of how to communicate with contractors when you're putting the electric in. And AutoCAD is by far the easiest way to show them. It gives them an exact location that they almost can't mess up. And if they do mess it up, it's on them to replace it or repair it or fix it. So with that being said, I appreciate you guys watching the video. I appreciate all the channel support. And I hope you guys have a good rest of your day.